And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Not at home today. We are in the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery studios of WSGW, and we did that for a very specific reason. It's not deja vu, friends. You may think so, but it's not deja vu.
Nope.
And if you happen to be looking on the stream this morning, you'll see both of us. When I say both of us, returning for another visit. And we are glad to have her with us this morning. My former co-host for 30 some years.
Well, I was on for 32. You had a little hiatus to Oregon.
Well, yeah, but I was on before I left, so you got to remember that those years count.
Yeah.
That is the voice of Sue Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Reunited in the studio where it all happened, right here on WSGW. But this is not the Listen to the Mrs. Show. We should point that out right away.
I think I have a recipe, though. I'm totally serious.
I believe you would.
It's a different kind of recipe.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we are here to talk. We'll talk later on about, our memories of the show and all of that stuff. But this is the first part of the show is a lot more serious than the rest of it. And I think before we get started with this, I think maybe if you don't mind, we need to hear the Sue Smith story. Mm-hmm. And how you
don't want to hear.
Well, yeah. I know the story. So
I think we both laugh because sometimes you just have to. Because the alternative
you do. And before we get into it, I should tell everybody too. I mean, we laugh. We don't laugh at the reason for this discussion.
Yeah.
But it's the surviving. We are thrilled that survival happens to folks who have an issue.
Yeah.
So tell us your story so people understand where you're coming from.
Well, the story goes back to when I was born. I'm just kidding. The big part of it begins about 1998 when I started to have a slide in between work and home and all kinds of things, and just, kind of taking a trip away from reality. And it was a slippery slope. My husband didn't notice. My kids didn't really notice because their reality was their reality. But I started slipping and well, if you're not in my home and around me as much, and you were part of the day, and then part of the day here I was doing other things. But things were changing, and you came back and you knew I had a struggle. And I mean, to struggle to the point where Sue is like in a catatonic state. And you went to Dave and said, you got to talk when you're on the radio.
Yep. And that was the beginning. Yeah. I mean, you had probably knew beforehand that you were having issues. But for us, that was really the beginning.
Right.
And literally, folks, I don't know any other way to describe it. Sue just used the word, so I'll use it. But Sue went catatonic on the radio.
Right.
What was the diagnosis?
The diagnosis wasn't until 2.5 years later.
Yep.
And multiple hospitalizations, and not just, regular hospital, but then into mental health facility. And I did my Best of the Midwest tour, I called it. I started off in Saginaw. Some wonderful people. In fact, I don't know if I told you this or not, but when we were over at Dan Mattress Man doing a broadcast, this woman who had helped take care of me, she's a nurse, and she was in Saginaw, Harrison, Saginaw General, I'm not, St. Luke's, one of them, and second Main was the mental health ward. Mm-hmm. And she was one of the nurses there at night. She came up at our broadcast and stood in front of me and said, "Remember me?" I'm like, people, really?
Yeah.
And then when she told me her name, I went, "Oh my word, that is her." And she helped me out tremendously. So anyway, Best of the Midwest tour included Saginaw, included Grand Rapids. My husband took me down, and he sought these places out for me. He sought out doctor. Yeah. He sought out, like therapists and stuff. And when I was in Grand Rapids, that's when I finally took the bull by the horns and or whatever that would be, and went to the therapist / social worker I had. I'm tapping my fingers. You probably see me doing that before. Tap my fingers, tap my toes. They're always in constant motion. And he said, he says, "I think you might be bipolar," which hindsight, we don't say that. We say you might have bipolar disorder. You are not your diagnosis. So then I went to Bay City, and Bay City were they were magical. Now, yeah, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So yes, I probably was manic a bit when I went over there because it was such a relief. But I called there myself and got help. And some of the professionals in this area were just amazing.
Two things
Yes.
that I want to mention. First of all, for those that don't know what bipolar is, you go through highs and lows.
Yeah,
It's a roller coaster of emotion. Right?
It's a roller coaster ride that my husband and family and friends are on.
And that's the other thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Her husband, Scott, has always been, in my eyes, a phenomenal human being.
Oh, yeah.
Who truly loves his wife and truly did everything conceivable to help you along your way.
And the things that he's been through. I mean, you too. I've told some of my close friends, and I just said, Art was a lifesaver too. He made a phone call that probably helped save my life.
Yeah.
And and then another friend, who in another crisis situation, got out of her pajamas, put her clothes on, raced over, got me, and took me to the hospital. So those kinds of things, I'm forever thankful for friends and family and, our listeners.
A lot of people care about you. I mean, it's, it's a tribute to you too, because obviously, if you care about somebody, you care because they're somebody you want to care about,
Yeah, and I think for somebody else out there, I mean, you reach a point, everybody goes through that for a reason. I had a lot of loss in my life. You just reached a point where I just didn't feel like I was deserving of my family and friends. My husband was amazing. I thought,
that's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But there's the highs, and boy, you've seen some of those highs. And boy, some of my friends, one of my friends says, when I get high like that, and it's not high, it's more high because of a body chemistry thing. It's not high because of, most of the time it's not high because of medications, unless you're on some wrong ones. But she calls me the elf on crack. And, but I mean, and she says it fondly. But when you're down in the dumps, man, you don't want to be there, but you don't know how to get out.
So, before we get to the depression and bipolar support group that you have and NAMI and those things, what do you tell someone who may be suffering bipolar or acting like they have bipolar? What do you tell them?
Or any kind of mental illness. What you do is you just say, there's help out there. What can I do? There is help, and people just get so frustrated. And some people just don't even know that they have an issue. So you just have to very gently say.
Well, you almost have to hit bottom, they compare sometimes people who are alcoholics or drug addicts. They say they have to hit bottom before they seek help.
Right. Yeah. That's a really good one. I'll have to write that down.
Okay.
But I think the thing is too, we have such a stigma in this country about mental illness.
Is it better?
We're trying. I think we're getting there. I had a board meeting for a board that I'd been on for about 30 years. I started when I was 5, right? Mm-hmm. And I went in there and I just said, I told the director, I said, I really need to step back and do something else in the organization. I'm not making it to the meetings. There were times I just couldn't get my head off the pillow. There were times when I couldn't get in here. I just didn't get my head off the pillow. And I told them at this meeting, I said before we were done, I have an announcement to make. I said, I'm coming out. And they all, I was going to say, I had a different spouse. And I said, no, I feel it's very important to say, what's going on so you guys know. But then when they left, some would tap me on the shoulder. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Some give you a hug. Some people just walk by because they don't know what to say.
They don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But in regard to the stigma, I do think today, in this day and age, there are more people admitting to having, for example, bipolar, as you just did, for example.
Yeah.
And we also hear it from sports figures who take time out because of their mental health.
Yeah.
Hollywood types, all kinds
I
of
have
people,
pictures, yes.
all kinds of folks who are suffering and now are coming forward where 20 years ago that wouldn't have happened.
Jane Pauley, I think, was a big one.
Yeah, there's a lot
Fisher,
of them.
Yeah, a ton of them.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and we're going to tell you about a group that Sue has and about how you can seek help if you have bipolar.
Yeah.
All of that is ahead here on WSGW.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are all looking up. The Dow is 332 points higher. The Nasdaq is up 122. The S&P 500 is 41 points higher. Due to Russia's war on Ukraine, grain futures are expected to have a choppy 2023. Though prices surged when the invasion began nearly a year ago, they've now settled to where they were before the shooting began. Futures for wheat and soybeans rose sharply early in 2022, while the price of corn hit its highest levels in a decade. And Cineworld Group said today that the company is not in talks with AMC Entertainment Holdings regarding the sale of its cinema assets. The London-based Cineworld Group, which owns Regal Cinemas, says they've been in talks with key stakeholders since September to develop a Chapter 11 reorganization plan. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Karen McHugh, invested in you.
President Trump has announced, and Ron DeSantis is rising fast. Who do you support for 2024? Newsmax wants to know what you think. Vote in the Newsmax poll. Just text the word RESPOND to 39747. That's RESPOND to 39747. It takes just seconds. Text RESPOND to 39747. Let your voice be heard and watch Newsmax today. Texting enrolls for automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, the WSGW morning team.
WSGW online poll, your outlook for 2023. There are many polls asking about the country in the new year. A recent USA Today Suffolk University poll showing 65% of Americans think the country is on the wrong track. Though the same polls show the mood 39% hopeful. But what about you and your specific life? Take into consideration your personal, your professional life, your health, your family, your finances, whatever it might be. The poll question is, how do you think the year 2023 will be for you? Will it be a great year? Will it be a good year? Will it be an average year? Will it be a difficult year? We hope we have more of the goods and the greats than the others, but we understand. Head to WSW.com, scroll on the homepage, look for the poll box, and make your vote that way.
I always choose to be optimistic.
You live optimistically and then deal with whatever necessity you have to.
Look forward to the new year.
Exactly.
Your morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley, Van Camp, and Robin show.
You know what we do, try to make sense of it all and have some fun at the same time.
Emphasis on having fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you here at WSGW. We're talking to Sue Smith, our former colleague for decades. She did listen to the missus for a long, long time and other things. I am. So talk about your group, the Depression and Bipolar Support Group, and how that got started.
Well, years ago, after getting out of the hospital, and there was a support group for those who were just getting out of Bay Med, which is now McLaren. And there's still a group affiliated with that. With COVID, many of us couldn't meet anywhere, So some of us started. I started about 6 months before COVID, and I just said, there's no support group in this county. There was nothing in this county. Now there is one support group in Birch Run that meets, which is for, I believe that's for families, and there's 3 different ones with NAMI. There's Connection.
What is NAMI? Tell everybody.
NAMI, I'm sorry. Now, see, you have to reel me in just like you used to, just like old times. NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And it's still a struggle to get the word out and explain to people what it is. But, I usually do that. And the one thing I have for praise, too, is I have a sign and it says, "It's okay not to be okay." That's the logo I've been using. And it makes sense. And people will wave to you and they smile like, yeah, we know that. We need to know that. We need to tell our kids that. We need to tell our families that and friends. And so I decided to be, and there's a song by a young man, and his name is Josh Wilson. And he wrote the song. He has depression. He has anxiety a lot. And a lot of his songs are about that. And he wrote it. He's been in Bay City and Midland performing. And I'm trying to get him to sing it. But he wrote this song, "It's Okay Not to Be Okay." And so it's, like you said, various walks of life, they have issues. So I thought that'd be a really good thing to call. So there's the weird part. I went to a couple mega places and tried to see if I could use one room twice a month for an hour and a half. And I got so many no's, I was dumbfounded. I also got another place that said, "Oh, we can do that, but it'll be $20 every time." Well, I'm less than a nonprofit. My husband and I have been paying for most of this stuff. But I do have to thank Thrivent, because Thrivent has helped out on a lot of projects, including Talk First at the Dow that the hockey team does. And, so I just decided there was no support group in Saginaw County. So, well, I'll start one. So I now have gotten training for Connection, which is the person who leads it has some sort of mental health issue, and then the people who come do. Then there's 2 training sessions, which is great, and people can give me a call if they want. I can give them some more information. And those are peer-to-peer, where people can learn about, mental health issues, and family to family, which is where I've got a family member, I have no idea what to do. There's schizophrenia, there's whatever. And that helps. We meet on Thursdays. I have to change the time and date. Thursdays, the first and third Thursdays of the month. We're meeting at 6 o'clock now. It's just better at night than it was in the afternoon. And people we meet at McDonald's, GMC Cadillac. Bill and his wife, Andrea, and the whole staff have been very welcoming, and they know how important it is too. So we really appreciate that. So it's a group, like I said, we meet twice a month, and it's a safe place. It's confidential. You can come and talk. I have had a couple of people who have come and talked about, family situation. We had one.
So I have to ask this question because it conjures up images,
right,
from the media, movies, and all of that, of people sitting around in a circle holding hands, kumbaya, telling their stories.
Right.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Is that what it is?
No, we don't hold hands.
Okay.
We tell stories. It's one of those things. I've got some information about.
It does help to share, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And even if you sit there and you're not ready to share, we do the typical go in a circle, which is how I was trained in Bay City in the group I was in inpatient. And you just go around, and the therapist we had was wonderful. You say, I'm Art Lewis, and I have schizophrenia.
You admit to whatever you have.
Basically can say your condition, and and the main thing is you say, how are you doing this week? Did you have a good week, bad week? How's it going? And you can kind of say how you're doing, and then you get a feel for when people go around. Maybe somebody needs to expand on that, and talk a little bit more about it. But you're supporting each other, and it's great. Non-judgmental. There's people from all walks of life. It is not something that people who are teenagers that would come. It's typically 21 or older.
I chuckled this. I have to chuckle about this. We'll talk more about this later. But Sue's email address is still cooking Mrs.
Yeah.
at sbcglobal.net. Cooking Mrs. I can't imagine when that came out.
Yeah, I still have that one. I have that one. And actually, what's really funny is someone on staff, his son set up our email, and I think he's the one that gave me that, which is hilarious. Yeah.
I always chuckle at it.
Yeah.
And it's still there. That's great. That's great. So the group meets on Thursday, hour and a half.
Right. About an hour and a half or two. Yeah.
Open to anybody who feels they need to converse, right?
Yeah, it's typically people who have some sort of disorder. I have had a couple of people. I had a woman who came up to me at the very end, 10 minutes before our health fair ended. And she said, I don't know what to do. What's this all about? She looks at the booth. And a lot of people, when you go, these things, they walk right by it because they're like, blah. And she came over and she had a daughter who had bipolar disorder and ADHD. She also had a granddaughter she's raising her granddaughter because her daughter couldn't deal with it. And her daughter's pregnant again. And it's like she needed somebody to talk to. And ironically, I'll have somebody come kind of as a speaker. I had Suzanne from the NAMI group in Frankenmuth, or in Flint, Genesee County, which is a parent group. And she was able to help people out. But my friend Patty was in mental health worker for 25 years. And she was really able to take this woman around her, and be able to surround her with all kinds of help. It was great.
I'll have to check the Spirit schedule, but we have a game usually.
February 11th.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll
be there.
Oh, good. You have a table?
We've had a table for many years.
Good. That's what I wanted to make sure of, because I know Barb Smith is there that night.
Oh, she does an amazing job.
She is an amazing person, and much like you doing it, because she was, had a relative who committed suicide, and that got her started on the path she's on.
And if you can be there, she tells her story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
right there.
She tells it to you right then and there, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to take a break and come back. We'll remind you of all this, but we may reminisce a little about our old days here at WSGW. And I'll tell you what, if you want to chat with Sue for a moment or two, you can give us a call at 989-752-6111. That number hasn't changed.
That's right.
We'll be back after these notes.
Save big money on everything. Now at Menards. Clearview Cabinetry starts as a kitchen built for now and grows with you as life changes. It's flexible by design with full access cabinet construction, so you can go from doors to drawers for storage that works when you need it. Give your kitchen the upgrade it deserves with Clearview Cabinetry. Explore all our cabinet options on display in our kitchen showroom and save big money now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
RocketGrabPlus.com. A perfect time to save money. So why would you pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now, from Super Cute in Freeland, The Bearded Axe, Patriot Carpet Cleaning, Applied Training Solutions, and West Side Decorating. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
For everything your business needs to make this year your year, Staples has you covered.
I need to organize all my papers and files from last year and the year before that.
Staples has you covered.
I need to clear clutter from my office and my home office and my home.
Staples has you covered with everything you need to get organized this year at amazing savings. Right now at Staples, get up to 50% off select file folders, file cabinets, file boxes, and storage bins. Make this year your year at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 1/28 in store only.
It's Jesse Kelly. Why do you think so many countries have huge gold reserves? Gold lasts. The value of gold lasts. How many times have I told you, buy things you can touch and feel because you know the value lasts? There's nothing like precious metals, nothing out there like it. I buy all my gold from Oxford Gold Group, 833-974-1300. They'll deliver it to your front door. Oxford Gold Group.
The Big Ten champion Michigan Wolverines.
Turns and hands it to Donovan Edwards, who goes flea flicker, firing deep down the middle, wide open, Ronnie Bell! Touchdown, Wolverines! It's off his hands and it's intercepted. Makari Page with the interception right in front of the Ohio State bench. One man to beat. He cuts inside. He's in the clear. Touchdown, Donovan Edwards.
The Michigan Wolverines' drive for a national championship fell short, but it was still a season to remember. An undefeated regular season, a win against the rival Buckeyes in their own backyard, a second straight Big Ten championship, and back-to-back trips to the college football playoffs. And in 8 months, we plan on doing this all over again by bringing you another action-packed season of Michigan football right here on WSGW. We'd like to once again thank our sponsors who brought you Michigan football this year: Lingle Equipment Company, Schaefer and Beerline Ram Truck and Frankenmuth, Zimomatic Irrigation Solutions, North Bloomfield Properties, and Wolfiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Thank you again for listening to another championship season of Michigan Wolverines football on WSGW.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW, and we are chatting with Sue Smith, chatting about a serious topic of bipolar and mental illness, but we're going to move on just for a little bit here and reminisce because we got callers who want to say hi, and we're going to do that right now. So we say good morning to Mike. Mike, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Art, and good morning, Sue.
Good morning.
I haven't talked to you in a long time.
I know.
Run into you every once in a while. I just wanted to call in and say hi and appreciate that you're getting the help that you needed, and good luck.
Well, thank you. You probably have somebody that you know in your life that has, or you don't know and maybe question.
That could be.
Yeah.
I do know one person that has some problems.
And you know why I say that?
Medications,
The research shows, NAMI, one of the statistics is 1 in 5 people will have a mental health disorder in their life. And actually, because of COVID, it's more like 1 in 4.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you how I feel about those statistics. I think they're wrong, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I think everybody at one time or another has some mental health issues, feel depressed, feel low, don't feel great. And I do believe that. Now, some of them are diagnosable, others are just here today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
But I think everybody at one time or another suffers.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
Type of mental health. I mean, you can be depressed about things going on in your life.
Well, it can be two things too. It's kind of two-phased. You can have it in your genes. Like my dad, I know, had some depression. He never said anything until one day I was going through all this. And he said, next to my bed that I hadn't gotten out of for 3 weeks. And he goes, I think my mother was bipolar. And I'm like, 2.5 years, Dad, when are we going to tell me this? We're trying to get a diagnosis here. Really? And then, so you've got the genetic part, but part 2 is environmental. And frankly, you don't have to have the part 1 to have the part 2 because you're talking to people who are in the military and they have PTSD or whatever. So it can be the combo where maybe I was predisposed to this and then it all of a sudden came in.
All right, Mike, I appreciate the call.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks,
Take care. Bye. I can't wait for you to talk to this person. This is Carol in Sheridan. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Art, and hi, Sue.
Hi,
That's funny
Carol.
to say.
Goodness, good to hear from you. Carol and I met. I don't know if
Yep.
you know
I
yet.
knew that. I remember
We
you.
went with Love to Cook. We met her when we went to Cops and Donuts, and that was so fun. That was such a thrill to meet you. And your husband, John. Yep. So what's going on with you? Do you have anybody in your life that has some struggles like that?
Oh, yes. Quite a few.
And
I don't know.
and did they talk about it in the past? Probably not.
Well, we weren't that close to them, but quite a
Right.
few cousins and
Yeah.
they struggled. But I think it's great that you're bringing out some of these things, that it's not such in the closet anymore, like you said.
Now, and there's no reason to be ashamed. It's like, I tell people, they'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, it is what it is. It's something that you live with. It's something that, what do they say? The glass isn't half empty and it's not half full. It's refillable. And the thing is, too, you wouldn't believe. My aunt wrote a book, and it wasn't until my aunt wrote a book about her teaching in a one-room schoolhouse and things. She wrote in there about how she met her, this would be my uncle, when she met my grandparents, my uncle's parents. And she said, well, Mother Rayner would often have to go out of the room and go rest. And so my grandmother, my dad said that his mother was bipolar, had bipolar disorder. And I truly believe she did. All the symptoms were there in this book that I read years later that she was gone. I wish I'd had the chance to talk to her, because the symptoms my mom talked about, how her being really loud and then not talking, and I mean, it was all there. So,
well, it's like,
once you realize what's going on, and then you say, well, that might have been what it was.
Well, and people need to know, like, I'm talking about support group. You also you're closer to Midland. I know you're near Clare, but there's a group in Midland, there's a group in Genesee County, where if people know about that group and they know somebody that might need help, they can refer them and change their lives, frankly.
Yeah. Well, it's just great to hear from you. I was so tickled the other day that you was on, and all the fun we had in the cooking show was so fun, and there's no red cinnamon candies. I'll tell you right now, if people are trying to find red
Hots.
we put them in baked apples.
Yeah.
And we went quite a few stores. Now, I'm wondering, our daughter said maybe they shut some of the lines down to make Christmas.
I don't know. I would try, well, you're far away, but I would try places like St. Lawrence.
Yeah,
or,
they might.
Or the one in Frankenmuth, the store that has all the old candy.
Well, I'm not out. I'm one of those, when I open a package or I see something on sale, I'm not out of anything.
A hoarder.
Gotta be
Rouse Country Store.
Rouse. That's it, right. Very good.
Well, if I see him, I'll let you know.
He has a little store, and he can't find any. I mean, all his suppliers, he can't find any.
Yeah.
If you're going to make applesauce, don't put very much in, because you might not find them for a while. But I'm thinking Valentine. Maybe Valentine.
Yeah,
they might gear them up. But it was interesting.
And the other thing you might
New York.
They also have cinnamon oil that you might try.
Yeah.
That works.
They're very good in candy apples, unless you make your own.
Yeah.
You might be able to make your own.
True. Like
but I don't want to do that.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
You guys
Carol.
take care.
Thanks for calling,
Bye-bye.
Carol.
See you, Ramya. Yeah.
Bye now. That was Carol in Sheridan.
Yeah.
And if you know where there are red hots, let us know.
I haven't looked for them this year, but she's.
Well, I haven't either.
I haven't seen
But
them.
I would, I know they have a lot of unusual things. At St. Lawrence, and Rouse has a lot of unusual things. Maybe you'll find them there.
Fun.
Also, another place that has those old candy lines.
Yeah.
I want to think it's Wilson Cheese Shop.
They-
Bonnie has a lot
It's
of
so
that.
funny. They do some of that, yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. Talking to Sue Smith. More ahead.
RocketGrabPlus.com. A perfect time to save money. So why would you pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now, from Super Cute in Freeland, The Bearded Axe, Patriot Carpet Cleaning, Applied Training Solutions, and West Side Decorating. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
This message is for the guy who isn't perfect in the bedroom, but who is. Maybe the issue's getting it up, or keeping it up, or maybe it's finishing too soon. If any of these issues sound familiar to you, don't sweat it. HIMS can help by providing access to effective, affordable treatments for ED and other men's issues. Go to 4hims.com for a free online assessment. And if appropriate, a licensed medical provider will prescribe the treatment best for you, all from the comfort of your home. And the medication is shipped free to your door in discreet packaging. Plus, HIMS gives you unlimited follow-up visits with medical providers. Look, no one's perfect in the bedroom every time, but with HIMS, you can get a lot closer than before. And chances are, your partner will agree.
To start your free assessment today, go to 4hims.com/perfect. That's 4hims.com/perfect for your free assessment. FORHIMS.com/PERFECT.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible end-of-the-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at end of the year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
Back with you on the Art Limit Show, talking to Sue Smith and more callers. Let's talk to Joe in Saginaw. Joe, you're on with Sue. Good morning.
Hi, Sue.
Good morning.
I have to say that I didn't recognize you with clothes on.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no, Joe.
Hang on here a minute. This is a
Explain
family
this.
show. Wait a minute here.
Explain this.
I used to meet Sue over at the pool at Sherwood.
Okay.
Joe's great. Joe's great.
All right, that
I love
explains
it. I'm glad you called.
And I remember saying to Sue or some of the ladies there one morning, here I am, the only man in the pool with 30 women in bathing suits. I'm blind. And I can't see them.
You
at
know
all.
Joe. I know you know Joe. Yeah.
And I remember if Sue or one of the ladies said, well, Joe, your imagination is probably better than the reality anyway.
Exactly. Great group of people there. That was great. You know, you are amazing in itself. So you're one of those people who some people can get really down about things and then keep going on about things, but you are very positive.
Well, listen, Joe.
Well, you know, the thing is, I worked with Emmaus House for many years. Yeah. And, you know, when some of those women there, you know, when I heard about their history, you know, they were abused as children. They were abused as women.
Yeah.
They'd been on the street, you know.
Yeah, they're a product of your upbringing, you know.
Yeah, and it was just amazing that they recovered at all. But I think Emmaus House is a really good program.
Absolutely.
They are.
Well,
Joe, listen.
I think we had a lot of success.
Have a happy New Year.
Well, a happy New Year to you, and it's
all right.
Thanks, Joe.
And I'll remember how you remember Sue. That's very good. All right, Joe. Thanks. Have a good one.
Bye now.
Bye. And with us is Joan in Bay City. Joan, good morning.
Good morning, Art and Sue. This is Joan from Bay City. Does that sound familiar?
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, I really miss you guys in the old program. A friend of mine found the Cinnamon Red Hots.
Oh.
In a dollar store, and they were where the theater candy is.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Fantastic.
It was really hard to find. It was on the top shelf.
Excellent.
And she said, and they're $1.25 or something.
Yeah,
They're not $1 anymore.
Yeah, dollar stores have all gone up.
That's great.
It's not going to last me very long.
Okay.
Well, listen.
I thought it was just me that couldn't find them.
No, apparently not.
That's great. Thank you, Joan. Just like listeners again. Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye now. And in Bay City, we have Dottie this morning. Dottie, good morning.
Yes, good morning. It's so great to hear your two voices together again.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, I appreciate what you're talking about, because we had a sister-in-law about 10 years ago that committed suicide. And nobody knew.
No,
I mean, back then you didn't talk about it.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. And one of the things I've learned from chatting with Barb Smith over the years, who has the Suicide Resource and Response Network, there are usually signs, but most people aren't tuned into them. And that's part of the education going on today, is to try and teach people to read those signs and don't be afraid to ask somebody.
Well, and Art came back when I was in the midst of all this. He came back with flowers, and he came back with a card, and it was, I think of you as a daughter. I don't know what to do, but if you need me, let me know, and help out. Yeah.
So. Yes, and that Barb she's just
she's special. She is special.
She helped my brother through this whole thing, because he was so upset. He didn't want to live anymore. And if it wasn't for her, with her, we probably wouldn't have him. But it's so good that people are now going to talk about it, and it's not that it's in the closet anymore.
Well, there are support groups for suicide survivors too.
Yeah, and that's where he met Barb.
Yeah.
And then he met a woman that her husband had committed suicide, and the two of them now are married.
Oh, very good.
So
great. Fate has a way.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he does. So I know there's a lot of people, but it's so good to hear you guys' voices again.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you for everything you guys are doing.
Thanks, Dottie.
You have a great day.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I know you have a list of programs you want to talk about, so tell us some of the things that are happening.
There's a couple of things, some of the resources you can. One thing, if you go on YouTube, there's a thing that Brian Darcy James was in. It's called Next to Normal. It was a Broadway show, and it's a musical on bipolar disorder. So just go on YouTube. Another one you can find on there, as well as a regular movie, is called Dear Evan Hansen, and it's about anxiety and depression and things with teens. It's a high school based one. Another one has Anne Hathaway in. It's called Modern Love. You want to watch season 1, episode 3. It is very accurate portrayal of bipolar.
Here's the thing about today's productions.
Yes.
Is they tend to be more accurate and representative rather than the old Hollywood image of mental illness.
Token bipolar person.
Yeah, or it's in an institution. Or in the same way that, for example, we do a lot of work with the rescue ministries of Mid-Michigan.
Right.
The old image of the homeless and what it was is not reflective of what it is today.
And also electrocuting somebody, which is totally different. ECT is totally different today than A Beautiful Mind, which Russell Crowe's in. That's another good movie.
Yeah.
Now, I want to mention one more. I'm sorry. There's another one, and it's on bipolar. It's on YouTube, and it's by Dr. Patrick McKeon. It's McKeon. He is a physician, a psychiatrist. He has an amazing explanation of all of this. If somebody asks, well, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just take a pill? He has a great explanation of all of that.
All right, and we only have 2 minutes left here.
Yes.
Pills.
Yes.
Meds.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because that's been a roller coaster too, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, and the
An
thing is,
expensive roller coaster.
if they don't diagnose you right, you can't really treat somebody right. And I've been on, I think I counted up about 26 different medications over the years. And you have to find what works, and it might work for a while, and then you have to change it, and it's really hard. Find a really good pharmacist too. and I want to give a plug for them because they're wonderful, is the Walgreens on State and Center. I could call them 3:15. Yeah, I could call them 3:15 in the morning, and they could help me out. They know the meds, and a lot of times the psychiatrists and the doctors don't. It's hard to keep up on all those things where the pharmacists know about some of those new things too. So, but you got to find psychiatrists, you got to find therapists, you got to find all these things, support group, as we mentioned before. But it has to all be in balance.
So let's end with your support group. Depression and Bipolar Support Group meets first and third Thursdays of the month, 6 o'clock, McDonald GMC Cadillac, 5155 State Street in Saginaw.
That's right.
How long? Hour
and a half. Yeah, hour and a half, or up to 2 hours if we need to. Yeah.
And really, because it's a small group, you get a lot of one-on-one, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, listen, it's always good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for the opportunity.
You seem to be doing very, very well right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can overnight. I can crash, but right now I'm doing great. Yeah.
All right. God bless you.
Thank you. You too.
Happy New Year to you and Scott.
You too.
All righty. And we thank Sue for joining us today. We thank you for listening. And we will take a break and come back and close out this hour and tell you what's ahead.
Bay City's best bridge is
So
open
you went
traffic.
from-
Brought to you by Bay City Bridge Partners and local union workers. Come see the new Liberty Bridge for yourself. Tolling is free through March. Drive the most direct route between home, work, school, and many of Bay City's hotspots. Experience the smooth new deck surface free of potholes and new, more reliable mechanics, electronics, and technology. Get your transponder and learn more at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
You'd never knowingly feed your pup mystery meat or spoiled grocery store food, so why are those some of the most common protein sources in kibble today? Yep, the dog food ingredient meat meal can be made of spoiled supermarket meat and packing plant scraps.
I'm veterinarian Dr. Marty Goldstein. Your dog needs a biologically appropriate diet similar to what they would eat in the wild. That's why I developed Nature's Blend, a freeze-dried raw food made with premium cuts of meat, omega-3 rich seeds, and superfood veggies and fruit.
Bailey is 12 years old. He has been on your food for 9 bags now.
Nature's Blend is pantry safe and has 0 artificial preservatives, additives, filler, or meat meal.
He's got more energy, able to run around and play when our grandson comes.
For a limited time, save 54% off Nature's Blend and receive a free pack of premium dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/Marty or text Marty to 511-511.
I can't thank you enough. He's 12 and I'm enjoying every day with him.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 1 additional text. Text stop to opt out.
The WSGW Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this edition, for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Coming up after the news at 10 o'clock this morning, we're going to start out talking to Congressman Dan Kildee about the first day in Congress and what's ahead. And then after that, we'll have open phones. That's what's coming up in hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. Before that, we'll have news. The news from CBS brings you up to date on the nation and the world. And then we'll have the local report, Michael Percha in the WSGW newsroom. Back after that with hour 2, the Art Lewis Show. Stick around.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
I'm Monica Ricks in New York. A terrifying moment last night in Cincinnati where Buffalo Bills safety collapsed after a tackle from a cardiac arrest. Players from both teams watched as medics gave him CPR to restore his heartbeat. But this morning, he's still fighting for his life in a hospital. WKRC reporter Chelsea Sick has the latest.
A very sad, eerie morning outside of UC Medical Center as we do wait for an update on Damar Hamlin's condition. The last update we got was just before 2 o'clock this morning. The Bills tweeted that he did suffer cardiac arrest during that game and is sedated and in critical condition.
Hamlin is just 24 years old. This morning, millions of people in several states are bracing for severe weather. Correspondent Jim Kursula has details.
Severe storms yesterday caused damage in parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. More strong storms will target the mid and deep south today. The storms will also dump heavy rain. There have been high water rescues in parts of Tennessee and Kentucky this morning.
Weather and air traffic control problems have sparked more issues at major airports. CBS's Courtney Keeley explains.
The Federal Aviation Administration says it has fixed a computer issue that caused flight delays in Florida yesterday. Those delays cascaded to other major airports.
About 1,300 flights have been delayed today. About 400 are canceled. Republicans will take over the House today as a new Congress gets sworn in. CBS's Linda Kenyon is in Washington.
The first order of business will be to elect a new Speaker of the House. Republican Kevin McCarthy is bucking for the job, but with a slim majority of Republicans and some saying they will not support him, he's in a bit of a tough spot.
McCarthy could become the first nominee for Speaker in 100 years to fail to win support from his own colleagues in the first round of voting. A stark contrast from the Senate, where Mitch McConnell said to become the longest-serving party leader. The man being charged in the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students say he will not fight extradition. Here's CBS's Adriana Diaz.
Due in a Pennsylvania courtroom this afternoon, Brian Koberger is expected to waive his extradition rights, and he could be brought to Idaho within 72 hours to face charges.
In Brazil, thousands are lining the streets now to catch a glimpse of Pelé's casket. It is making its way to a cemetery in Santos, where the soccer legend will be buried after a private funeral. Pelé died last week at 82. Billy Idol's finally getting his due today in Hollywood with a star on the Walk of Fame. It's the first of 2023. The LA landmarks got more than 2,700 stars and counting. This is CBS News.
This winter, there are now updated COVID-19 booster shots designed for recent Omicron variants. Learn more and schedule your updated booster at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
RocketGrabPlus.com. A perfect time to save money. So why would you pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now from Super Cute and Freeland, The Bearded Axe, Patriot Carpet Cleaning, Applied Training Solutions, and West Side Decorating. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible end-of-the-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at end of the year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T. Euro Health.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies, rain, and 36 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. 16-year-old Kashawn Navarre Banks has been identified as the victim in Sunday night's fatal shooting in Saginaw. Police say Banks was one of 5 people in a vehicle in the parking lot of the Marathon gas station at 2740 East Holland Avenue when they received a report of shots fired at around 10:20 p.m. Banks and a 21-year-old woman were taken to a local hospital where he later died. The 3 other people in the vehicle were uninjured. Detectives with the Saginaw Police Department are investigating the incident and asking anyone who may have been in the area and seen or heard something to contact the department at 989-759-1761 or to leave an anonymous tip by calling Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. There are currently no suspects in custody. A Birch Run police officer died suddenly on Sunday. Officer Larry Verga died at his home, according to police. A cause of death has not been made public. Verga worked for the Birch Run Police Department since 2018 after retiring from the Michigan State Police with 29 years of service. He also served in the U.S. Air Force. The Birch Run Police Department posted a message on Facebook after Verga's passing saying he will be greatly missed. The Midland Police Department is 100 years old this year. In another Facebook post, that department says it's been an honor serving the community since 1923. To commemorate the milestone, officers will wear special badges throughout the year until December 31st. The Greater Michigan Construction Academy at Midland and Ladies Operating for Growth in Construction, or LOGIC, are hosting an event February 28th to spark interest in construction for girls in grades 5 through 12. Build Like a Girl will feature contractors and suppliers offering hands-on activities and women in the construction industry providing their insights and experience. The event takes place from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Midland's Great Hall at 5121 Bay City Road. The event is free, but registration is required by visiting abcgmc.org. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
For everything your business needs to make this year your year, Staples has you covered.
I need to organize all my papers and files from last year and the year before that.
Staples has you covered.
I need to clear clutter from my office and my home office and my home.
Staples has you covered with everything you need to get organized this year at amazing savings. Right now at Staples, get up to 50% off select file folders, file cabinets, file boxes, and storage bins. Make this year your year at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 1/28 in-store only.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. In Otsego County, there is an update on the legal battle between the Iron Pig Smokehouse in Gaylord and the State Health Department. Back in November 2020, the restaurant received a citation for staying open despite COVID-19 restrictions. This past November, state officials recommended to dismiss any appeal of a judge's ruling that the citation was unconstitutional. Restaurant owner Ian Murphy is now looking to get reimbursed for fines he paid and is also creating a class action lawsuit with other Michigan businesses that were affected by the shutdowns. He claims more than 50 establishments have signed up so far. A jump in mortgage rates is getting the blame for a slowdown in home building permits. The Home Builders Association of Southeastern Michigan says there were 139 permits issued in November in Macomb, Wayne, and Oakland and St. Clair counties, not including 2020 when the pandemic hit, which is the lowest number since 2011. Association president and builder Reno Suave says higher rates make it hard for homeowners.
It's unprecedented that how fast it went up in such a short period of time. So naturally, they're going to be directly correlated. When obviously, rates go up, affordability goes down. On top of, you have basically just the highest inflation we've had in 40 years. So we're looking at a couple really big obstacles that the housing market, face in 22.
Suave says no matter what happens with mortgage rates, higher costs for materials will lead to a slower 2023. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see periods of rain showers here for today with cloudy sky conditions, a high in the low 40s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. And for tonight, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, and temperatures holding steady. Wednesday, a chance for rain, cloudy, temperatures holding steady in the low 40s. Then on Thursday, a slight chance for rain and snow mixing early, then becoming all rain, cloudy, and a high of 37. Friday, mostly cloudy sky conditions, high of 35 degrees. Then on Saturday, mostly cloudy and a high around 35. Sunday, partial sunshine, high of 34. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 37.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
And stop into Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. See their newly expanded showroom. Pick up all your home decorating needs. And welcome to Hour 2 of the Art Lewis Show. We're going to begin by saying good morning to Congressman Dan Kildee. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. It's good to be back with you.
And good to have you back. I remember before the election, you told your wife, after the election, we will either be extremely happy or I will have won. So I'm not sure whether to offer you congratulations or sympathy.
Yeah, that's a fact. Look, I still enjoy the work, but I have to admit that the political environment generally makes it difficult to say we actually enjoy it. But the work is important, that's for sure.
So let's talk about this new year, because obviously you're going into a house where the leadership is changing. Don't know who that's going to be yet, but the leadership is changing. The Republicans have a slim control of the House. What do you expect to happen this year with a divided Congress?
Well, I mean, the hope is once we get through today and there's a speaker selected, it could take a while, as you pointed out. Mr. McCarthy is having a difficult time putting the votes together. But once we put today behind us, then I think the challenge really comes. What are the areas where Democrats and Republicans can find some common ground? You know, I would have preferred Democrats maintain control, but we have to acknowledge when we have a divided government, if we're able to come to agreement, generally speaking, those are policies that have staying power, have the ability to be more long-term. So, like, for example, I would hope we would address immigration, issues of border security, and our overall immigration needs have gone really unaddressed for too long. It could be an area where we can find some common ground. If that's the case, like, for example, back in 2013, we came close. We had a divided Congress then. Maybe we can get back to that point. I would hope we can get there. And then, you know, for me, of course, the other big issue has to do with reinvigorating our manufacturing base, supporting local agricultural interests, really focusing on economic matters that continue to put our region of the country and our particular part of the state in a better position to fully participate in the economy. So, you know, the hope is that those are issues that are not partisan, and that in a divided government, we're going to be able to get some common ground.
My fear, and I'm sure this is going to happen too, is that we're going to have one committee hearing after another going after the opposition, as we've seen in the past. And it's going to be a distraction from what the country really needs.
Yeah, I share that concern, Art. And I particularly am concerned that in this process of electing a speaker, and of course we have the opposite situation on the Senate side, so both parties are guilty of this. But in pursuit of the speakership, it appears that Mr. McCarthy is giving the so-called Freedom Caucus and even the people who are even beyond that end of the spectrum, giving them a lot in order to secure potentially votes to become speaker. I'm concerned about that because, look, most of the country is sort of in the middle of the political spectrum, right, kind of where I sit. And when either extreme can exert more authority, it doesn't serve the country well. And it's one of the reasons I think people get turned off by politics. So, I am concerned about that as well, Art, and I hope that that's not the direction that this goes. As I said, both parties bear some responsibility for this, but right now we're taking a close look at how the Republicans are going to manage themselves in the House, and I think there's cause for some concern.
There have been a lot of folks on the right who have for years called for an investigation of Hunter Biden, and it appears that's going to happen. How do you feel about it?
Well, a lot of this has been scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed. It's going to be up to the Republicans if this is what they want the focus to be, a person who's outside of government who happens to be, the son of the president. I'll be disappointed if that becomes their primary focus. It does appear that at least for the incoming chair of the Oversight Committee, which is the Investigations Committee of Congress, that Hunter Biden is his top priority. I don't think it's a top priority for Americans, but if they decide it's going to be their top priority, then they'll have to deal with the result of that. But that's not the direction that I would like us to pursue. A lot of the questions around President Biden's family have been examined and resolved, and I hope we can move on, but I don't think that's going to be the case. They're going to focus on this.
I want to go back to immigration because that's been a topic of conversation now for quite a long time. I mean, obviously with the border crisis and all the folks coming across and the uncertainty of Title 42, it certainly hasn't improved at the border. But Congress after Congress has kicked this can down the road. Do you feel that maybe it's reached a point where something now has to be done and will be done?
I hope so. And, I think this is going to be an issue that will require bipartisan work. I suspect a lot of the bipartisan effort may come out of the Senate just because there's a different characteristic of the Republican leadership in the Senate as what we see in the House. But I would hope that they would bring up that we collectively would bring up some of the legislation that I've sponsored, the Border Security and Migrant Safety Act, for example, that I helped to introduce, the Emergency Migration Response Act, which would treat migration surges as natural disasters, allowing us to have a quick response, increased resources, personnel at the border. We have to look at it that way. But my greater preference would be that we look at the total picture. I hear from employers every single day frustration about not being able to access new in-migrants to the country to meet some of their particular needs. We particularly hear about it in agriculture and in the hospitality industry. Immigration's always been a source of renewal for us. And I think, unfortunately, the immigration question has been so conflated with the very serious problems that we have managing our borders that they become one question, and they're really two distinct issues. Maybe if we can address them both together, take some of the politics out of it, which I know is going to be difficult, we're going to be able to maybe not only do a lot more to secure our border, but in the meantime, support industry in this country that does need that renewal that comes with legal immigration. I hope that that's the direction we go.
Yeah, there's the key word, legal, because obviously this country was built by immigrants in many ways, and orderly immigration policy we've had for a long time. The question is, did the policy work, or does it need to be upgraded? Does it need to be changed? Should we allow for more immigration? But you just can't have a sieve like we have right now.
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting because we have the worst of both worlds. We have the problems that we have at the southern border, which has to be addressed, no question about it. But then as it relates to legal immigration, we've pretty much turned that off for the last 5-6 years now, partly, during the period of the previous administration as a matter of policy. And then, COVID actually had a real impact on legal immigration as well. But we've got to find a way to be responsive to the needs of our economy. And of course, with very few exceptions, we are entirely a nation of immigrants. It's interesting. My wife, for Christmas, got me a subscription to Ancestry.com.
Oh, really?
So I've been going through. I'm back to the 1500s. And
oh wow!
The truth is, though, that while it is true that we've had a more recent period of difficulty with immigration, we have a long history of spotty enforcement of immigration. I mean, it's not entirely clear how the family that I derived from got from Ireland to Canada to the United States. We're not entirely sure exactly how that all happened. It was a different time. So we'll have to. But it's been an interesting, personally, it's been an interesting process to go through.
Yeah, it's. I did the 23andMe was given to me as a gift a number of years ago. So I found out who I am, but I didn't find out anything about who I'm related to.
Yeah.
So anyway, so in terms of this upcoming year for Congress, I know you're an optimist. Are you hopeful?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be an optimist to do this job. I think we're going to see this initial period, which I totally grant to the Republicans, sort of a throat clearing period. They've got this pent up list of bills that they want to try to push through that sort of are the expressions of their core ideology. We did the same thing with HR 1 through 10. They're going to do that. Once we get past that, say we get into, March and April, then I think the rubber hits the road. And what I'm planning to do, and I can only speak for myself, I'm going to go right over to the other side of the aisle and work with those very same people that I worked with for the last several years when we were in the majority, and basically put it to them this way. Look, let's not let our differences cancel our agreement. Where can we agree? What can we do together? We have a farm bill that we have to write, for example. Typically, it's been bipartisan. It's not always come out that way, but it's an issue that tends to be more bipartisan. I'm not on the Agriculture Committee, but the district, as you know, the district I represent has a lot of growers, a lot of farmers, and policy can affect them. I'm hoping that we can hear them. And as a Democrat representing a largely agricultural area, I'm excited about going across the aisle and working with my Republican colleagues to say, look, let's do what we can to support our domestic agriculture industry. So I am hopeful.
Yeah, well, one of the things I think we've seen here in Michigan is that our delegation, House and Senate, when it comes to Michigan, you folks seem to have a lot more unity.
That's for sure. When it comes to the Great Lakes, the auto industry, our interests, our agricultural interests, we do find a way to come together. And I'm the senior Democrat in the Michigan House delegation. Now Tim Walberg is the senior Republican since Fred Upton has moved on. We're going to do everything we can to try to maintain that. And again, it doesn't mean we're going to agree on everything, but we don't have to burn the bridge, just because we disagree.
Well, listen, thank you for your time this morning, and we look forward to chatting with you throughout the year. And if you get up this way, the studio is always welcome to you, and love chatting with you.
We'll do it. Thank you, Art.
Have a happy new year.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. Congressman Dan Kildee, we thank him for his time this morning here on WSGW. For the remainder of the program, through 11:30, actually, we're going to have open lines. So whatever you'd like to chat about, 989-752 6111 is the number to call.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Dancing crew, trip for two, nailed the final interview. Game with Doug, brand new mug. Come here, kid, give me a hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. New COVID-19 boosters designed for recent Omicron variants are now available. Learn about eligibility and schedule a free updated booster today at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T Euro Health.
I'm Lauren Simonetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
First trading day of 2023 is off and running. Right now on Wall Street, all the major indices are looking up. Exxon and Chevron, the two biggest U.S. oil companies, are pulling back from big international projects and will focus their efforts on more lucrative assets closer to home this year. Both say they plan on spending most of their annual budgets in the Americas in 2023. More employers are ordering their workers to get back to the office. The Wall Street Journal reporting that investment giant, the Vanguard Group, and workplace tech company Paycom Software are pushing staffers to return to their desks on required days or face termination. And in an effort to lower costs, improve safety, and increase capacity, online pet retailer Chewy says they'll be opening more automated fulfillment centers in the coming months. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Karen McHugh, invested in you.
It's Jesse Kelly. Why do you think so many countries have huge gold reserves? Gold lasts. The value of gold lasts. How many times have I told you, buy things you can touch and feel, because you know the value lasts. There's nothing like precious metals, nothing out there like it. I buy all my gold from Oxford Gold Group, 833-974-1300. They'll deliver it to your front door. Oxford Gold Group.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible end-of-the-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at end of the year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
you know what we do, try to make sense of it all and have some fun at the same time. Emphasis on having fun.
Markley Van Camp and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of the time, right up to 11:30 at 989-752-6111. One of the things this year are some new laws in Michigan. They have to do with service dogs, school safety, crime victim compensation. But one of them caught my attention, and this was in the Detroit Free Press. I wanted to just read this: parental rights signs in school. We've talked about this so much, about parents and being involved in their children's education. According to this article, Michigan schools must now prominently display portions of the state constitution and law under a bill that goes into effect in March. And this was sponsored by Representative Annette Glenn in Midland when she was still a representative. And the two sections that need to be posted, here's what they say, quote, religion, morality, and knowledge being necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. It is the natural fundamental right of parents and legal guardians to determine and direct the care, teaching, and education of their children. The public schools of this state serve the needs of pupils by cooperating with the pupils' parents and legal guardians to develop the pupils' intellectual capabilities and vocational skills in a safe and positive environment. Now, these quotes need to be displayed in rooms where local and state boards meet, in the office of the principal or school leader, and every building operated by the Michigan Department of Education. It is a visible and valuable reminder that parents have the fundamental rights to direct their children's education. And we had this conversation the other day with our caller, Kathy, who was an alternative educator, talking about the fact that so much comes from the top down, from the federal government, from the state government. And now we have these signs that have to be posted in Michigan schools reminding us that parents have the say in their children's education. Will that change what the state does or the federal government does? Unfortunately, I doubt it. But maybe parents will get more vocal, step up to their school boards, and let their voices be heard. I think we've gotten to some degree away from that. And I think that it's important that parents stay involved in their children's education. And unfortunately today, in this new society we seem to have out there, fewer and fewer parents do that, get involved in their children's education. That's a shame. Now, that's a big brush. I'm not painting it across all parents because many, many parents take their children's education to heart and follow through. But what's happened, I think, is a number of things, but one of them is we've become so busy as a society, many having to have two jobs or involved in all kinds of other activities, that we've slid away from really concentrating on our youngsters, sitting down with them at night and looking at their homework and taking care of parent-teacher meetings and being involved in a parent-teacher association. I just think that we need to get back to that more and more. And I think the other part of that is we have to teach respect for teachers from the students. Seem to have gotten away from that too. There seems to be a lot of discouraging news about what happens in the classroom, and now teachers have to put up with things they never would have thought about decades ago. And I think that conversation about education is important because it's the future of the country. These are the future leaders that are being educated today. And it's concerning when you look at worldwide statistics of where the United States sits in the high 30s, not anywhere near the top. Not anywhere near the top in science, math, English, the humanities, what have you. They're like 38th or something like that. That's inexcusable in a country like this. Totally inexcusable. And it's not just throwing money at it. It's attracting the right people. And I know some people will say, well, money can do that. No, I don't want people that are going into teaching just because they think they can make $1. I want people who are going into teaching because they care about educating our youngsters. If they do that, then we can consider what the pay scale should be. That's not a problem. I understand the need to offer our teachers a good living wage. But throwing money at it before you get the quality teachers in the classroom does nothing. Absolutely nothing. And in addition, we need to be supporting our teachers so they don't have to dip into their own money to buy the supplies they need to educate our students. That doesn't make any sense either. And that certainly doesn't help in recruiting. So there's a lot of issues that have to be addressed in education. But I'm glad to see that the state is recognizing that parents have that say in their youngsters' education. I think that's critically important. All right, a break. Lines are open for you. If you have something you'd like to chat about, give us a call.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Celebrating a new year, 2023 is here. Come support over 30 small businesses like Global Flavors, Retail Therapy, Delicious Sweet Treats, and more. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we will see you at the market. This is Rachel from the boardroom, located inside the SVRC Marketplace at 203 South Washington. We are now open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., offering daily lunch specials, homemade hot soups, and the best specialty burgers and flatbreads around. Happy hour daily with over 20 top selections from local and Michigan brews. Going to an event downtown Saginaw? Show us your ticket for 10% off. Support small, get on board inside the boardroom.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
RocketGrabPlus.com. A perfect time to save money. So why would you pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now from Super Cute in Freeland, The Bearded Axe, Patriot Carpet Cleaning, Applied Training Solutions, and West Side Decorating. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, the WSGW Morning Team.
WSGW online poll, your outlook for 2023. There are many polls asking about the country in the new year. A recent USA Today Suffolk University poll showing 65% of Americans think the country is on the wrong track. Though the same polls show the mood 39% hopeful. But what about you and your specific life? Take into consideration your personal, your professional life, your health, your family, your finances, whatever it might be. The poll question is, how do you think the year 2023 will be for you? Will it be a great year? Will it be a good year? Will it be an average year? Will it be a difficult difficult year. We hope we have more of the goods and the greats than the others, but we understand. Head to WSW.com, scroll on the homepage, look for the poll box, and make your vote that way.
I always choose to be optimistic.
You live optimistically and then deal with whatever necessity you have to.
Look forward to the new year.
Exactly.
Your morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and we have open phones, and we're going to talk to Betty, who is in Seaboing. Betty, good morning.
Good morning and Happy New Year.
Same to you.
I wanted to address a couple things that Dan Kildee commented on, and
Yes.
I felt he kind of sidestepped when you brought up the subject of the Biden laptop. He kind of didn't feel that was that important that we should concentrate on that now.
Are you
But what if
surprised
it
about
involved
that?
our president?
Are you surprised? Are you surprised about that?
And the other thing was immigration. He quickly directed to his family immigrating. Well, my family immigrated too, but in the 1900s, but they were legal.
Yeah, well, so was his. And,
Right.
you know, and that's what I pointed out, that this country was built on immigration, but we had a policy, and the policy lays down how many immigrants we can accept in and how you go about it. That's not what we have today. But he readily admitted that, and he readily admitted that there was a problem at the border. So it's not
Right.
like and the fact that he wants to sit down and come up with an immigration policy that makes sense, that's good.
But they all say that. And
Well, yeah,
nothing
they
gets
haven't done it. That's true. Congress after Congress. That's very true. Although he did point out a number of years ago they were pretty close to coming up with something, but didn't do it.
Right.
Listen. All we can do is watch and see what they do. Measure their actions against their words.
Right.
So, but
Well,
the
I
Biden
enjoyed
thing,
that.
I understand the Biden thing, and
Yeah.
you know, the fact is, it's going to be a thrust of the Republican control of the investigations. You know, it's going to happen.
Well, people want some answers, and they want a completion to these. You hear all of these negative things, nothing gets done about it, so you're sitting here thinking, holy cow, what's happening? But there's no resolution.
Yeah. Well, that's politics today. And it's going to be that wide. Those issues are the big divisive issues. And one side looks at it one way and the other side looks at it the other way. And the party in control does what they want to do. And that's what's going to happen now with the Republicans in control. They're going to do what they want to do. You might as well get used to it.
Well, for once, I would think, let's think about the American people and who we represent, and let's get something positive accomplished. So,
well, that would be nice, but that takes both sides. That doesn't take just one side. That takes both
right.
sides.
So, well, thank you for listening.
Well, Betty, we're glad you called. Have a happy new year.
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you, dear. Bye-bye now. And that opens the lines for you if you have something you'd like to chime in on. Now, the immigration question, it is an important question, and particularly in this day and age, where nothing seems to be being done. It's something that I hope he's right. I hope that they can cross the aisle and sit down with each other, come up with the best ideas from both sides, put together an immigration policy that makes sense. And one thing we're all going to have to recognize, whether you want to admit it or not, is that those who have crossed the border illegally that are in this country now are going to have to be dealt with. And more than likely, that's going to be a path a long path, but a path to citizenship. You're not going to round them up and deport them. It's not going to happen. It's not realistic. That horse is out of the barn. We need to have a policy that seals off the border so that we control how many cross the border. But those that are already in this country, we're going to have to deal with realistically. And I use that term decidedly, realistically, not pie in the sky, not, oh, we're just going to send them all back. Well, no, you're not. That's not going to happen. You may want it to happen, but it's not going to happen. So we have to kind of think about how we're going to deal with that situation, and then also deal with how we prevent that situation from happening again. Quick break. We'll be back to our next call.
You'd never knowingly feed your pup mystery meat or spoiled grocery store food, so why are those some of the most common protein sources in kibble today? Yep, the dog food ingredient meat meal can be made of spoiled supermarket meat and packing plant scraps.
I'm veterinarian Dr. Marty Goldstein. Your dog needs a biologically appropriate diet similar to what they would eat in the wild. That's why I developed Nature's Blend, a freeze-dried raw food made with premium cuts of meat, omega-3 rich seeds, and superfood veggies and fruit.
Bailey is 12 years old. He has been on your food for 9 bags now.
Nature's Blend is pantry safe and has 0 artificial preservatives, additives, filler, or meat meal.
He's got more energy, able to run around and play when our grandson comes.
For a limited time, save 54% off Nature's Blend and receive a free pack of premium dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/Marty or text Marty to 511-511.
I can't thank you enough. He's 12 and I'm enjoying every day with him.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 1 additional text. Text stop to opt out.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
This message is for the guy who isn't perfect in the bedroom, but who is. Maybe the issue's getting it up, or keeping it up, or maybe it's finishing too soon. If any of these issues sound familiar to you, don't sweat it. HIMS can help by providing access to effective, affordable treatments for ED and other men's issues. Go to 4hims.com for a free online assessment. And if appropriate, a licensed medical provider will prescribe the treatment best for you, all from the comfort of your home. And the medication is shipped free to your door in discreet packaging. Plus, HIMS gives you unlimited follow-up visits with medical providers. Look, no one's perfect in the bedroom every time, but with HIMS, you can get a lot closer than before. And chances are, your partner will agree.
To start your free assessment today, go to 4hims.com/perfect. That's 4hims.com/perfect for your free assessment. forhims.com/perfect.
Make a New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Help protect your identity and finances with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. LifeLock detects identity threats you may miss on your own. And if you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible end-of-the-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at end of the year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Minchikov is able to find Parekh towards the net. A shot, and he scores! Shane Parekh on the power play. The Spirit strike first.
The Saginaw Spirit will try to make it 5 wins in a row when they visit the Windsor Spitfires on Wednesday night. Tune in for all the action beginning at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. The Spirit are back home both Friday and Saturday night. Visit SaginawSpirit.com for ticket information.
It's Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Tom Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. And again, we have open phones right through 11:30 this morning. Something you want to chat about, 989-752-6111. There was a survey done, I don't know, I think this was, may have been Gallup. I'm not positive. I'm going to check here. But this was a survey that headlines, Americans largely pessimistic about U.S. prospects in 2023. Americans have mostly a gloomy outlook for the U.S. as majorities predict negative conditions in 12 of 13 economic, political, societal, and international arenas. And I'm not surprised. There's been so much negative talk going into the year. I'm not surprised at all. Inflation will continue. We hear that it's going to continue. It'll probably take 2 or 3 years to get back to the what considered the normal level of 2%. We have a divided Congress, so nobody expects very much to come about. Some issues probably, but not a lot. And economically, it looks like it's possible we might have a mild recession. Most economists seem to think that's in the cards because of the continuation of the inflation reduction by the Fed, who keep raising interest rates, although less than they have been. So it's not surprising that people have a negative outlook on the year. And this was a Gallup poll. Gallup asked Americans for their predictions for the coming year. They've been doing this for a long time. And it's apparent that we are in a time, it's hard to say like no other, because we say that about everything, and yet there have been lots of examples over the history of this country. I mean, is this time worse than the Great Depression? I don't know. We really don't have people on bread lines in the cities and all of that. Matter of fact, just the opposite. There's lots of jobs that people don't want to work. I've talked to people in a variety of venues looking for employers and employees, I should say. They hire somebody, they show up one day, they're gone the next. Or they come to work, but they try and dictate, I can't stay, I've got something to do this afternoon. Well, no, I don't know how you were, but I was taught by my parents that when my employer gives me a paycheck, they expect something in return. They expect me to fulfill my obligation to do the work that I've been assigned to do in the time frame that I've been assigned to do. If you are hired in to work 8 hours a day at a particular job, well, you need to work the 8 hours a day. What's so difficult to understand about that? But in this day and age, somehow we haven't taught that lesson. Now, again, big brush, don't want to paint it across everybody. There are a lot of good folks out there doing hard work and wanting to work and going to school and learning trades and things of that nature. But, the question of work ethic seems to be hanging out there, and I don't know the answer to it. We'll go up to Ogama County and talk to Hound Dog. Morning, Hound Dog. Happy New Year.
You too, sir. It's a privilege. And I ain't quite right, but my point is, Happy New Year to all your listeners, and you just be good to people. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's a good thing to say.
What's that?
That's a good thing to say, Hound Dog.
Just be nice to people, man.
That's the old saying, be kind to each other.
But I don't know, Jim. I don't know if I can say this on the radio, but I'm an asshole. But people, you gotta, God put a smile on your face, whatever the God is, you know.
Yeah. All right. Good enough.
That's good enough. I know you.
Hey,
all right.
Have a happy new year, Hound Dog. We'll talk to you.
You have a beautiful day, sir.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
As Hound Dog lives up in Ogama County, not far from the fairgrounds. We always enjoy hearing from him from time to time. But, you know, that's an interesting point, isn't it? Be kind to each other. When did we get away from that? Again, big brush. A lot of people out there are still very kind to a lot of people. You know, and it certainly, you don't want to paint the brush across everybody because it's not true. But it does seem that we are moving away from that type of recognition of each other. And it's becoming more and more public. It's too bad. It's too bad. We have to relearn how to disagree with each other and then go sit down over lunch or dinner, talk about things other than politics. I have friends who don't agree with me on a lot of things, but they are very close friends. One of the things we don't do is talk about politics. We talk about family, we talk about things we enjoy, and we know what not to talk about. And we get along fine. Some of these folks are our best friends. I tend to look at things from one view. We have a good friend who looks at it entirely different. Yet, we have found when we sit down and really want to talk about issues, despite the differences on some of the big things, there's a lot more agreement underlying our positions than there is disagreement. But you have to converse, you have to have conversation to get to that point. All right, we're going to take our last break this hour. We're going to continue open phones through Focus this morning. So if you haven't gotten in, you want to get in, the lines are open for you.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T. Euro Health.
All right, that's going to do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We have news coming up from CBS. And the local report, Michael Purchase in the WSGW newsroom. And then we will be back on Focus with another 25 minutes or so, 20 minutes or so of open phones.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Football fans are keeping vigil outside a hospital in Cincinnati, where Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition after collapsing following a tackle during last night's game.
We're praying that he pulls through this and he makes it through this, as we hope that he will. And that's why we're here, saying just because we're a Bengals fan doesn't mean we're not a fan of his.
Medical experts like CBS's Dr. David Agus are concerned a blow to the chest may have thrown his heart's pumping mechanism out of rhythm.
They started CPR right away, which is great. My hope is they were able to restore the heart rate soon enough to be able to get blood flow to the brain so there's no damage there.
The Bills returned to Buffalo this morning after the game was postponed indefinitely. In Brazil, Santos Football Club says more than 230,000 people paid respects to Pelé during a 24-hour public wake at his hometown soccer stadium. Among them, the country's new president, Lula da Silva. More turned out as Pelé's remains were transferred to a cemetery. Correspondent Vicky Barker.
Some of the fans lining the streets of Santos in Sao Paulo were wearing Santos team shirts bearing Pelé's number 10. They chanted team cheers and applauded as the fire truck bearing their hero's coffin passed.
A new Republican majority House will be sworn in shortly, but there's still uncertainty over who will lead GOP lawmakers. Correspondent Allison Keyes from Washington.
There could be fireworks as Kevin McCarthy battles hardline conservatives and faces vocal opposition from party members such as House Freedom Caucus Chair Scott Perry. A long, ugly speaker election could delay GOP hopes of moving quickly on border security and the economy.
Schools closed west of Little Rock, Arkansas after a possible tornado tore through yesterday. Jessieville District Superintendent Melissa Spears says it came out of the blue.
High winds, awnings begin to blow away, flagpole blows over, and students and staff begin moving to the safe room.
No deaths reported. With more recreational marijuana legal in more states, there are more reports of children getting into the gummies. Here's CBS's Jim Krasula.
More than 7,000 confirmed cases of kids younger than 6 eating pot edibles were reported to the nation's poison control centers over a 5-year period. A study published today found nearly a quarter of those children were hospitalized, with some becoming seriously ill.
The Wall Street Journal's reporting more bosses are getting tired of all those empty desks and ordering employees back to the office. They insist it's key to problem solving, training new hires, and reinforcing corporate culture. Some work from homers argue operating out of offices is unproductive. Dow down 25. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 888-74-STEEL and get a quote today.
Bay City's best bridge is open to traffic. Brought to you by Bay City Bridge Partners and local union workers. Come see the new Liberty Bridge for yourself. Tolling is free through March. Drive the most direct route between home, work, school, and many of Bay City's hotspots. Experience the smooth new deck surface free of potholes and new, more reliable mechanics, electronics, and technology. Get your transponder and learn more at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
This message is for the guy who isn't perfect in the bedroom, but who is. Maybe the issue's getting it up, or keeping it up, or maybe it's finishing too soon. If any of these issues sound familiar to you, don't sweat it. HIMSS can help by providing access to effective, affordable treatments for ED and other men's issues. Go to 4hims.com for a free online assessment, and if appropriate, a licensed medical provider will prescribe the treatment best for you, all from the comfort of your home. And the medication is shipped free to your door in discreet packaging. Plus, HIMSS gives you unlimited follow-up visits with medical providers. Look, no one's perfect in the bedroom every time, but with HIMSS, you can get a lot closer than before. And chances are, your partner will agree.
To start your free assessment today, go to 4hims.com/perfect. That's 4hims.com/perfect for your free assessment. FORHIMS.com/PERFECT.
I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies, rain, and 38 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Police in Essexville are looking for a suspect in a Friday morning robbery. The incident occurred at the 7-Eleven at 101 Woodside Avenue around 3 a.m. Police say a suspect entered the store and asked the clerk, Paul Caperna, for change, then attacked him after he opened the cash register. No weapon was used in the robbery. Caperna told police the suspect knocked him down after a brief struggle, then took about $300 in cash before leaving the store in a black sedan. Please call the Essexville Department of Public Safety if you have any information about the robbery. Delta College is currently accepting scholarship applications for the 2023-2024 academic year from the Delta College Foundation. Last year, 690 students shared in nearly $782,000 in funding. Any Delta student can apply for a scholarship, whether they're already attending or planning for the fall semester. Most scholarships are worth $1,000 and can help with the cost of tuition, books, or other expenses and do not need to be paid back. Applications include an essay and are judged anonymously based on grammar, spelling, and other criteria. The deadline to apply is February 1st, and notification of awards will be in April of this year. For more information or to start the application process, go to delta.edu/scholarships. Human resources recruiters, nursing leaders, and managers will be offering on-the-spot interviews during a recruitment fair next week at My Michigan Health Centers across the region. Anyone interested in nursing or patient care technician positions at My Michigan Health Centers in Midland, Mount Pleasant, West Branch, Alpena, and Sault Ste. Marie can get information on open positions January 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. My Michigan Health offers competitive wages, benefits, paid vacations, and holidays, and some positions may be eligible for sign-on bonuses. For more information, visit mymichigan.org/careers. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
This is the Michigan Corn Connection with Jim Zook, the Executive Director of the Corn Marketing Program of Michigan.
For 30 years, the Corn Marketing Program of Michigan has been providing education, promotion, and research for the corn farmers of Michigan. The Corn Marketing Program of Michigan thanks all of our producers for their support. The ethanol industry has flourished in the state of Michigan. We continue to provide ethanol fuels to the majority of our auto industry. And we also look into the future, and that future is around sustainable aviation fuels. That is the fuel that we use for our airlines. It's a renewable, lower carbon, and much cleaner for our environment. We still got to break down those barriers so that we can make sure corn-based ethanol is the ethanol of choice in making the sustainable aviation fuel.
Find out more at micorn.org.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. An investigation is underway after a deadly officer-involved shooting in mid-Michigan. State police say the shooting happened around 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon in a trailer park in Bath Township, northeast of Lansing. One person was shot and killed. Bath Township police say the officer involved in the shooting was responding to a domestic disturbance call. Michigan State Police are conducting the investigation. It's just the beginning of 2023, and lots of people are looking to stick to their resolutions. Some people are taking part in Dry January, which involve people giving up drinking for the month. Salvatore Russo, a behavioral health counselor from Ascension Brighton Center for Recovery, talks about the benefits of Dry January.
It could be very beneficial. It could help improve the quality of sleep. It could increase your money in your pocket. That's a big help. Physical improvements like better looking skin. It could help you feel less bloated. And I think an important one, it might give you some time to reflect on, why do I drink? What benefit does this even serve me?
Russo says even moderate drinking, which is 1 or 2 drinks a day, can create significant impacts on your overall physical health. Detroit and Michigan are well represented on Rolling Stone's new list of the 200 greatest singers of all time. Aretha Franklin comes out on the top at number 1, with some other big Motown names also making the cut. Other Michigan singers on the top 200 list include Stevie Wonder at number 7, Smokey Robinson at 23, Diana Ross at 87, Martha Reeves at 151. Michigan's Iggy Pop was also on the list at 176, followed by Bob Seger at 181. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see periods of rain showers here for today with cloudy sky conditions, a high in the low 40s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, and temperatures holding steady. Wednesday, a chance for rain, cloudy, temperatures holding steady in the low 40s. Then on Thursday, a slight chance for rain and snow mixing early, then becoming all rain, cloudy, and a high of 37. Friday, mostly cloudy sky conditions, high of 35 degrees. Then on Saturday, mostly cloudy and a high around 35. Sunday, partial sunshine, high of 34. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 37.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
And good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. Indeed brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, affordable, easy alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out more by calling Ben at 989-859-6751 or RoofMax online. It's getroofmax.com, as you heard, with 2 X's. No guest on Focus today, so we'll have open lines. Whatever you'd like to chat about, 989-752-6111 for the remaining time that we have, about 20 minutes or so. One of the things that I pulled down a story on, we were talking earlier about workers and the work ethic. More bosses are now ordering workers back to the office as the job market shifts. Staffers are being required to go into the office at least on some days, so that there are a number of types of recommendations. There are those who are saying you're coming back to the office full time and you're going to spend time at your desk. Others have come up with a hybrid where every now and then, a couple of days you go in, a couple of days you stay home. And that seems to be one that is the transition, if you will, from total home to going back to work. I have had an email from someone locally who was in promotions for a major organization. And at the signature part of the email, it says working from home. So you know that a lot of people still are. All right, we have some calls, so we want to take those calls and see who we have. Don't know who this one is, but we'll find out. Hi, who's this?
Paulie Wally, Saginaw.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, I heard in today's newspaper on the back page of Section A. This is the first I ever heard of this, but this apparently happened this past year in 22. It says the president's press secretary said her boss has created 10,000 million jobs, 2 billion more than the world's population.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they tend to say, I heard something about it, that it was obviously a misspeak, but they don't think before they talk sometimes. They've had some strange conversations come out of that press room lately, you know. But yeah, that's, I mean, it's the world's population is 8 or 9 billion. So yes, yeah. B, why do we have empty jobs then? If we
Right. Yeah, I just thought it was kind of hilarious. That's the first I ever heard of it.
Yeah, well, it's one of those.
That was
you
said
know,
during the year.
it was a misspeak. It went by the boards. You know, that's it. You hear about it once, and that's the end of it. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Have a good one. Take
You
care.
too.
Bye now.
Later. Bye.
And Mark claims to be in Unionville today. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, sticking with the border, this administration touted spending the most money, billions of dollars, to fix the border with wire and drones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How come they don't use the flights that they use to put the individuals around the country back to their original country? Just flying back to where they came from as a deterrent. 4 or 5 different planes, if you had that, wouldn't it be a deterrent for people to come over? For them to say, look, we're just getting flown back home.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
As a solution.
Yeah. You know, it isn't going to happen, and I'll tell you why. Because it would be viewed as an inhumane solution. But I understand what you're saying. Obviously, if you can't get in and you get sent right back where you came from, it's a deterrent. No two ways about it.
Correct.
But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen simply because it's viewed as inhumane. And, you know, I laugh in a way, and I shouldn't really laugh at it, but when Governor Scott sends busloads to New York City and Washington, D.C. and elsewhere, all of a sudden they're feeling the pain and they don't like it. But those same folks don't want to do anything about the southern border. You don't hear them complaining about what's happening down in Texas or Arizona or other states, but they sure don't like it when he drops them off at their doorstep. And, you know, somehow we need to have a solution to this problem. There's no two ways about it.
Well, I agree. It just frosted me the other day when Biden was in Arizona. He had an opportunity to visit the border.
Didn't go.
But he's taken more vacations than Donald Trump has taken. I know everybody had issues with him going to Mar-a-Lago, but
no, I don't think he has. It's regardless. I don't even worry about the presidents deserve vacations like everybody else, and every president's done it. So that one, I don't even bother with that. I mean, that's a waste of breath as far as I'm concerned. Every president takes vacations. Every president uses Air Force One to take their vacations. Every president costs us a lot of money because they take vacations. That's life.
No, I understand that. But when you say there's more important things than the border and then go and take vacation.
Yeah, well,
to me, as a taxpayer, that's not more important.
The optics are bad. Let's put it that way.
There you go. Fair enough.
All right. Good enough, Mark.
All right, take care.
Have a good one, buddy.
Yep.
Take care. Bye-bye now. And we'll be back.
RocketGrabPlus.com. A perfect time to save money. So why would you pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now from Super Cute and Freeland, The Bearded Axe, Patriot Carpet Cleaning, Applied Training Solutions, and West Side Decorating. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of